In a new Blaze News exclusive, Steve Baker and Joe Hanneman revealed that the suspect in the January 6th pipe bomb case was across the street from a Capitol Police squad car while walking to drop the bomb off the night before. And Steve Baker joins us now. So take us through this new video that you have, Steve.
Well, this is a little bit more confusing than some of the other things that we presented because actually, for the first time, we got confused. There's no other way to say it because there's so many moving parts to this story. The first thing is that we got new video from a new angle of the actual FBI identified alleged pipe bomber. That's the one with the hoodie on, kind of small frame person, maybe a male, maybe a female. We still don't know. We don't know the race of the individual. But there was other video that came from the Capitol Hill Club that has been out there for over 3 years. And we could see that. But now we had a much broader cross section, a wider frame from a more distant camera with really good resolution. We could see the bomber moving into the area, passing in front of the Capitol Hill Club, just as a Capitol Police SUV was pulling past. And the interesting thing and the weird thing that happened first was we got a much better look at the alleged bomber waving at the SUV as they passed and then pointing at them as almost like recognition or, hey, how's it going? Like somebody you pass going to and from work or whatever the case may be. The bottom line is that we had not seen that quality of that before, and that really caught our interest, so we kept watching. And then that SUV circled the block. So we know that because we were able to follow from other cameras that SUV circle the block and then come back up the street that we're looking down here in this particular video image. As the alleged pipe bomber goes down that sidewalk and then eventually reaches the alleyway in between the Capitol Hill Club and the Republican National Committee headquarters. And then as the other vehicle, and you can see the light coming up now to the left of the screen there, and that bright light are the headlights and now the emergency lights of that same SUV that passed the alleged bomber just seconds earlier. Well, when that Capitol Police SUV gets there and pulls over right in front of the alleyway, the alleged bomber disappears into the alleyway where eventually that bomb was discovered the next day. So this was a very coincidental situation that happened. So we kept watching. And as we watched, another Capitol Police vehicle coming from the other direction, actually a sedan this time, it pulls in and down the same road towards the other Capitol Police car, and then it does kind of like a Y maneuver and then parks behind the other car. Well, after that particular situation takes place, then we see the image of a similarly dressed person to the alleged bomber come out of the same. Now, see, there's the sedan right there. That's another Capitol Police car. And then a similarly attired person comes out of that alley from the distance, from the low resolution, from the distance, and then also because of the bright lights from the two police cruisers, we were not able to absolutely 100% identify it, but we saw the white hoodie, white sweatshirt, the black pants. We saw the person come out of the same alleyway, cross the street, and then disappear into that bright light that you see. So, we had never seen these videos before. There weren't any other corroborating or accompanying videos. There's right across the street there on the side where that bright light is. That's the actual Library of Congress. Library of Congress has never released their videos. We've been asking for those videos for over a year. And you can see there with the circle, the person that is dressed similarly and from a distance looks exactly like the alleged bomber walking across the street. And so it looks like it disappears into the lights and that this person was communicating or had a meeting for about 2.5 to 3 minutes with those officers. As it turns out, that's not what happened. When we released and published the story this morning, I got a message actually from a congressional investigator that said, I don't think you got it right. He said, but it took us over 6 months for us to demand the video from the Library of Congress that showed us, because he told me, he said, we assumed the same thing that you assumed. And he said, I fought tooth and nail in believing that was, what you saw was exactly what I saw. Thought we had something big. And it's not that this whole story is not big, because the bigness of the story still remains the same. And not making excuses, not trying to rationalize anything else. We've corrected the mistake that we made in terms of whether that person was the bomber or whether that person identified and communicated with those law enforcement officers. But the bigger problem is that for 3.5 years, we've still been asking for these videos. And the entities, the FBI, the Capitol Police, that are holding a certain percentage of that video and still not releasing that to us and to the American public, makes that $500,000 bounty that the FBI has issued for if you bring them leads that lead to the arrest of that particular bomber, then you get $500,000. Well, it might as well be $5 million, because they have no intention of paying it anyway if they're not going to release the videos to the American public to get the leads, to get the tips that would be called in.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody could see it everywhere.
And let me say, I mean, what's ridiculous about this is that these other tapes are out there, right? There's footage out there that can't be released, but because certain people have the secret video that can't be released, right? They can tell us, no, actually, from this angle, you can see that such and such is true. Why are we doing this at all? It's crazy that we're going to, various people in Congress who have access to the videos, who are able to say, well, I saw this and we have this, but they can't release it. And then it drips out to various journalists who beg for it. This is an untenable situation. It's a ridiculous situation, and it needs to stop. All the video needs to come out. The fact that we're in this situation is simply because you have people who know what's there in this angle, but you have to sort of fish around, Congress to find the people who have seen it. And, this entire story just puts the exclamation point on it. We need all this stuff released ASAP.